Uh, First of all, I'd like to thank React Advanced London for having me. So what is Vite? Vite is a French word, means fast. It is a build tool created by Evan Yu, the creator of Vue.js. But Vite is a framework agnostic tool. And I want you to think of Vite as these two things here. You can see a server and bundler. So here, this build tool, this build Vite has two major parts: a dev server here and a build command, or you can also call as a pre-configured bundler. So the dev server provides rich feature enhancements over native ES modules, extremely fast hat module replacement, for instance, while the build or the command bundles your code with ES build in development and roll up in production. And what else I can say about the esbuild? It does dependency pre-bundling, while rollup does some pre-configuration to output highly optimized static assets for production. So the problem that Vite is trying to solve is the feedback loop speed during development. If you've used React, especially in a large project, you probably noticed that hot module replacement takes sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on your machine, and you have to change your Webpack config, JS, or enable caching, etc. Just editing single file, you may have to wait a few seconds for things to update on the screen. This problem is due to the need for bundling. There's no way for the browser to actually support modularized code. That's the reason we have Browserify, Webpack Parcel, etc. So that modularized code can become, say, one single file that can be run in the browser. Now that most modern browsers natively support ES modules, this means that during development, there's a large chunk of work that we no longer need to do because the browser can now handle them natively. In Vite, you're going to write your code as native ES modules, and Vite will take these ES modules and then parse the file and look for your import statements, and then send HTTP requests for each module to the dev server. So the dev server just served these modules as it's a very fast processing. Yeah, so what else? So index HTML here is the entry point in Vite projects, not main.js, that you'll often see in Webpack projects. So think of Vite again as a dev server. Okay. So putting this all together, Vite provides you with an extremely fast and lean development experience. Talking about plugins, Vite can be extended using plugins, which are based on Rollup's plugin interface. You'll see more about plugins in a bit. So to start, Vite, can use npm yarn pnpm. Here's the commands you can use. Yeah, and you can choose React, Vue, Preact, or Vanilla Vite. Unfortunately, we don't have Angular here yet. Probably next year, because Angular has this very unique configuration. Their build pipeline, build tool. Yeah, let's do a demo here. So we're gonna try Vanilla Vite, then Vanilla Vite to React, and if we have more time, we can do migrating from CR8 to React Vite. So yeah, we can try it here. Say Vite demo. Okay, let's close this. Now maybe we can run npm init and start adding the Vite package. So yeah, here npm install -dev save Vite. So while waiting for that, we can create an index file here. It's the entry point, and check out, say here. Yeah, see here Vite 2.6.2. Let's remove this sample script here. Let's change it to, say, dev. this is GitHub Copilot helping me and build or building the Vite project. Probably here preview or Vite preview. So what are these? Dev to run your Vite project on dev environment. Here, Vite build for building. That will create this. So dev, by the way, will run the application on port 3000, and then we can preview the build using this preview command here, which will run on port 5000. So basically, this is letting you preview your project in production, so you can compare the dev and the production um, environment of your application or version of your application. And yeah, let's check out the node modules here. See here, yes, we have this esbuild, rollup, Vite itself, PostCSS. So here, PostCSS. So as you can see, PostCSS will work here out of the box. Okay, so maybe we can create a JavaScript file here that just say console log, say catchphrase. And don't have anything in mind, so maybe we can here say hello Vite, and then we can import here the JavaScript file. So here this is a ES module or native ESM. So we need to declare about type, that's the type module. We can import here the JavaScript, or we can use an inline here, import. Then we can run this now. Here. That is so fast, right? Okay, connecting. So this is the hot module replacement client. This bit connected, and then you can see our JavaScript is working. Okay, so what about CSS? Let's add CSS here, style.css. And maybe we can say, I don't know, let's say, yeah, that one. And of course, we need to import it here and say, say link. Styles. Here you go. Let's edit here the color, crimson, say blue, which will hot update the file here, style.css. It's really fast, right? So, yeah, what if we try Sass? We can convert this to Sass. Okay, but we have to convert this also. Edit the name, install the Sass only without installing the node Sass. This should work. Run dev. Maybe we can do some Sass here. Primary color. You can just cut this here, and then there you go. It worked. So yeah, Sass is working. Works easily. And what if, let's try to convert this to React. Yeah. Now we need our React and React DOM, right? So here we would need to import React, and React DOM also. I think here it is. JSX file. Here it says okay, just return low React Vite. Let's export that, and then probably we can remove this now, or let's convert it to proper HTML. Then paste this. It should be here, and we would need, oops, a div here, right? Where we can put an ID. So give it the name root, so it's root. Just go back here, convert it to JSX, and React DOM. Root. You just need to import this. There you go. That should do it. Right? And make sure that this is JSX. Run dev. Let's see. And it worked. Hello React Fit, so it works also. JSX, out of the box. Yeah, so requirement here is that it has to be JSX. You can force yourself to use JS only, but I think you need to add a plugin because JSX, because Vite the text JSX in under the hood, this is more performant than just forcing yourself to use JS. It has something to do with their AST. Okay, so what about TypeScript? Let's convert it to TypeScript. TSX, and then just make sure that this is TSX as well. There you go. TypeScript works out of the box, right? And we can, let's say, add props here. Now, just testing. Probably here we have to edit this. Yeah, should work. Yeah, work. So there you go. Vite, vanilla, and then vanilla Vite, and then we managed to convert it to React and React TypeScript. So yeah, and maybe I can show you something about a project, a large project. It's using here. Oh yeah, there it's already. This is a big CRA project, and convert it to Vite, but it's just a copy, so I had to do some editing because I don't want to see. I want to see the whole application, so I just made here what I call this position absolute left 8,000. So technically, or basically, the UI moved to a few meters to the left, and you can only see Vite hello React.js. So before it takes 3 to 4 seconds to see the changes in CRA using, and then once we move it to, after moving it to Vite, it's like instant, less than a sec. Okay, so requirement, of course, need to install the Vite package, and then add necessary plugin. I mean, not necessary, sorry. It's just that I have to add tsconfig paths because I'm using base URL or base source here. So you can see tsconfig.json to base URL here. So I need that plugin to work here. You can, if you encounter any errors, you can just Google it and see. You'll end up in a documentation where, teaches you how to fix it using plugin, and React.js X here so that you don't need to explicitly write import React. What else? For this is technically this is a React TypeScript, so I'm adding global.ts here, reference type to a Vite client, or you don't have to do this if you have this types Vite client here. So yeah, there you go. So one thing here that I'd like to share, that if you have a large React and project and files, the files are in JavaScript, not in JSX, you don't have to manually convert them one by one. You can write a Python, you can run a Python script, and then this script will just convert all the JS file into JSX in a few seconds. 1, 2, done. Yeah, so that's it. A quick migration from CRA to Vite. So let's head back to our slides. So yeah, PostCSS, you don't need to install PostCSS itself. Vite comes with PostCSS support out of the box. What about CSS modules? All you need to do is make sure this file ends in the .module.css suffix. Server-side rendering. So SSR support is still experimental. So in SSR, the idea is you want your code to run in Node.js, but you're writing code that's using ESM, right? If you're not using the latest version of Node.js with native ES module support, your code will not run because previous versions of Node.js expect CommonJS. So and the idea in SSR is you can use Vite as a middleware inside an existing, say, existing Node.js server, right? So if you're doing server-side rendering, you need to control your server, let's say an Express server, then run Vite as a middleware inside of it, and then invoke a method called Vite. As you can see here, SSR load module, and pass your server entry file path. Now your server entry runs in Node.js, and it can use the same ES import syntax to load the rest of your application. How is Vite different from X? Comparison with other no bundle solution. For example, here Snowpack. Snowpack is also a no bundle native ESM dev server that is very similar in scope to Vite. Snowpack doesn't handle the bundling part. So one of the upsides of going unbundled, first is you can use different end bundlers to handle those files. But the downside is you can't afford to be as opinionated in certain areas like Vite. So Vite sticks with one single bundler. So, the roll-up, Vite team was able to do something that's very specific, but get you the most performance possible. For example, development time improvement. What about the community? Awesome, yeah. This is where you can find a ton of different Vite plugins. Just go to Awesome Vite, see a lot, most of them integration. So yeah, very helpful. And what else? Vitland on Discord. So a lot of smart and helpful developers are here. Who you can ask questions. There are channels for help, discussions, contributing, translations, TypeScript, CSS, SSR, plugins, Preact, React, Svelte, Vue, integrations, Fastify, etc. Okay, so if you want to know more about Vite.js or want to see the documentation, here's the website. So yeah, that's all I got. Thank you very much for listening.